Good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this morning I ventured down Glen Etive. We've had a lot of rain. So I'm just wanting to see how swollen the river is, and also does that make the waterfalls more attractive? So join me and let's see where this journey takes us. So I've driven down the Glen Etive road, and if you've been down here you'll appreciate how difficult it is to park, because a lot of the lay-bys that we used to be able to stop at, you're now forbidden to stop because it's a designated passing place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and work my way over here to that Cascade Falls, because there's a really nice thin narrow waterfall coming off the mountain there. And then what I might do is then work my way around and then see if I can get in front of these falls, because they reach right up to the top of the mountain, and that could be quite nice. But there's a tree there as well that caught my eye. So let me get down to the bottom. I'll try and see if we've got a composition, and I'll catch up when I get to my first spot. So I've just got to the base of the hill that I climbed down, and I'm just right next to the river. But look at the colour. Because we've had such a dry spell, we've got some nice peaty brown all mixed in with the water. And as you can see, that cascade over there, it's pretty strong, and the colour's really nice. Plus it's got a surrounding of all these trees. Right, I'm going to get set up and I'm going to see if I can use this as my first composition. Because what we've got is these big rocks in the foreground. We've got the water coming down on the left hand side. We've got that sprinkling of water coming off the mountain on the right hand side. It gives us a nice basin effect, and then it sweeps down to the left and then out to the right of my image. That's the plan. I'll take these images and I'll share them with you now. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share with you the difference shutter speed makes with the water. Turn this on. So there's my scene. My scene is I've got the water coming down, I've got the small waterfall on the left hand side, I've got the bigger waterfall on the right, and then I've got all that spray coming into that basin. So what I'll do is I'll share with you, I'm going to take a fast shutter speed, so it will just be frozen in time. I'm going to take about 1/5 of a second, and then I'll take a shot that's over a second, maybe 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, and I'll show you these three images, and I'll let you see the difference that using a fast, a medium or a really slow shutter speed has, or the effect on the water. And also maybe you could drop in the comments, what effect do you like? Do you like a frozen image? Do you like that medium image with the streaks, or do you like a real washout effect that your long shutter speed gives you? I'll post them, and if you drop a wee comment, that'll be really helpful. Right, let's see if we can kind of move over that direction and try and get down to that little cluster of rocks, because what I want to try and see is, could I get a nice image side on to those small cascades with that tree. Let's get down there, have a wee nosy, and let's see if we've got a composition. Right, so I'm here, but as you can see, I can't see the water coming down. So I could try and stand over there a little bit more to the right hand side and see if we can get some of that cascade. I'll move over and I'll connect once I'm set up. Just when I thought it was going good, I've had to put the rain cover on. There's a big rain shower just about to hit me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get myself all waterproofed up. I've got the cover over the bag and I'll let this rain pass. Some beautiful light, but I'm going to have to keep drying my filter. Right, I'm going to get out of this well. I'm going to sit tight until the rain passes and then we'll try and get this image. Right, so it's been reduced to a drizzle. I'm just keep checking my lens. So the composition I've got is I've got the water coming down on the left hand side. I've got these couple of rocks in the centre of my frame. So I've got the water coming to the left of the rock, and then I've got the water coming for the bottom right of my screen. And then I've got these trees at the top which are helping frame it. So I've got the rocks on both sides, I've got the water coming in on the left, and I've got the trees, and it's given us a nice frame effect. What I will do is I'll take a couple of shots and I'll put an ND64 filter on just so that it helps with my light, because I'm shooting at a 1/6 of a second f9 and I've got my ISO up at 400. So I'm just compensating the light because it's getting dark, it's getting light, and you just have to go with the flow, I suppose. I'll take these images and I'll share them with you now. Right, so before I move on, what caught my eye was there was these kind of salmon pinky rocks at the base of my image, and as I turn the camera over to portrait, I've got that really nice long composition where I've got these salmon pink rocks, I've got the water flowing past, and then I've got that really thin waterfall coming off the side of the mountain. And I thought that would make quite a nice composition, and I'll share these with you now. As I was walking down, I seen a composition because I thought it would be good to share with you that when you're in areas like this, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the vista, all the water. You want to try and get that wide view of all the water in the falls, and then you want to get close-ups of the falls. And I mentioned earlier about framing and how I framed the rocks with the trees and how that brought it all in. Here, I've got a completely different example for you. So here, what I'm doing is, I'm using the base of this rock right in front of me. I'm then using this rock. We've got this circular basin. We've got the peak of the falls just coming out there. And then we've still got that small waterfall on the right hand side. But the water is still flowing out of our viewer on the right hand side. So we've got that leading line of water from left to right outside the image. Now what I will do is to make sure this is sharp back to front, I'm shooting at f11 so it should be sharp, but because I'm really close to those rocks, I'll do a focus stack. So I'll take one image of the rocks and then I'll do a second image of the scene further behind at the falls, and then I can merge those two together, and then it should be sharp back to front. When I'm finished, I'll share these images with you. Right, so what I've got here is I've got this pink rock in front of me. You'll see it more in the full frame in the image, it's just that when I video it crops. We've then got that tree up on the left hand side, and then the river is flowing down straight to the mountains. And as you can see, we've got amazing light on the mountains over there. So in order to capture the mood of getting the heavy cloud on the mountain with the streaks of light, I'm going to have to do an underexposed shot. And then for the water, I've got the water flowing smooth right through. I'll do that exposure blend, so I've got the darker clouds with the beautiful light in the mountains and the softness of the water going in front of me over the rocks and have a really nice foreground. I'll share these images with you now. Alright, so I've come to the top of the falls and I've had to put on the ND grad filter for the sky. I didn't want to use it, but the reason I'm using it is the light on the mountain is absolutely beautiful, and to take two separate exposures was causing havoc. So I've got a 3.2 second shutter speed. I'm at ISO 125 and I'm shooting f11. But I've got this ND grad on that's darkening the sky and allowing me to capture that beautiful light on the mountain, and it's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to play about with the composition here. I'll get some wide shots and I'll get some close-up shots, and when I've finished I'll share these images with you. Alright, so I'm just going to stand here on the rock's edge and I'll share with you the composition that I'm looking for. So I've got the waterfall coming out in a sharp left, I've got the basin, and I'm going to have a long shutter speed because I want to smooth that water out, and then I've got that waterfall coming down in front of me, and then I've got the trees above. So I'm just going to take one or two different shots here. I'm just going to experiment with the exposures, and then I've seen some cracking shots potentially if I can climb down into the base of these rocks somehow, because some beautiful rock formations down the bottom here. I'll get this done first and I'll share these images with you now. Well, the rain stopped and that helped me get rid of the rain cover for the camera because it was acting like a sail in this wind, and I've taken my jacket off as well. Right, I'm just going to try and work my way down here, just check it's not too slippy because I've got my wellies on, I'm conscious of these rocks. But what I seen when I was standing up on that ledge earlier, I'll just try and get close here, was if I can get down here somewhere and then shoot back up, there's a wee cascade of water, but it's coming through a rock over there, it's got a gap in it, and I thought with the colour of the sand, the kind of sandy salmon pinky stone, it might make quite a nice image. Plus the water, there's quite a lot of pools, and using the polarizer we can take the sheen off it. I'll just wander over here and see if there's anything else. As you can see, there's loads of rock pools round about us just now, quite deep as well. So if I keep walking over, there's that little cascade I was talking about over here, and then it goes down there and then out. That might make a nice image as well onto the mountains. Right, so here we've got the force of the water. You wouldn't want to jump in there, that's for sure. You will. Right, let me get myself set up. I've left my bag and the drone up on the top of the rocks there, because they were, just in case it topples me over, it was a wee bit tricky to get down here, but we're here safely. I'm going to show you the composition. So the composition I mentioned earlier, we've got that hole in the rock there, and I want the water to swing all the way down and come down out through on the right hand side of my screen. So from a leading line point of view, we've got that nice sweep in the composition, and then we've got this beautiful colour of the rocks where you've got your sands, your pinks, It's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 different shots for down here. I might move a wee bit back and get a different perspective. I'll also go for a wider shot, so I'm not just shooting the rocks, I'm also shooting the trees. I won't film anymore because it's quite a tight area and it's quite hard to get round, and I'm just making sure I'm not going to slip with my wellies on. But when I finish, I'll share these images with you now. Alright, so I've come over to the edge because when I was here earlier having a wee scout around, I noticed there's a gap between these 2 big rocks and the water's flowing right underneath, and then we've got the waterfall slap bang in the middle of the gap of these rocks. So that's my composition. I'm going to use these rocks to frame the water coming through. I've got that then flowing up to these rocks, then I've got the waterfall coming down for the left hand side through near into the middle of my screen. So I'll take a couple of shots. I'm going to use portrait mode, as in portrait composition, and when I've finished I'll share these images with you. These guys are going to be canoeing all the way down all the rapids through the top of the River Etive there, so good luck to them. Really nice bunch of folks, but they're off their head. Anyway, I'm using this scene as a wee intimate scene. There's some ferns in there with a wee pool of water. So I'm taking my first set of images close up, and then what I'm going to do is pull back and then I'll get a shot this direction, because there might be a nicer reflection from here. So if I finish this, I'll share these images with you now. Right, so we have our first kayakers about to come down the river. Here they come. I'll just position myself so we've got a better spot. We'll capture them as they come down. And down safely. Wow, that is mega impressive. Right, I'm going to work my way down and see if I can get photographs of them coming off the falls. They're heading down river now. That's a shame. I was going to try and get some photos of them coming over the falls. Oh wow, pretty special. And there they go. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And we've got some sun, which is going to kill all the highlights in the water. So luckily we got our shots in the cloud. Right, let's go and find another location. I've probably come to my last location. It's getting really busy here now. You forget that when it's tourist season, there's too many people. However, there's a series of falls down here. Let's go and get some shots. So as you can see, I've got myself under a tree because it's really heavy rain and I've had to put all my waterproof gear back on again. However, that won't stop us. What we've got is the river coming down, and I've got all these kind of rapids right in front of me with the big boulders. The trees are getting blown crazy by the wind, as you'll be able to see over here and above me there. So it's got really windy. So I'm just going to take shelter here until this wavy rain goes away. And if I pop the camera around, got some beautiful light behind us, but we've also got the rain sweeping along the glen here. So I'll keep taking a couple of pictures here. We're going to have kind of blurred out trees because I'm going to use either a sixth of a second or 3 seconds on my shutter speed for the water. But no matter what I do, unless I freeze it, they're going to be frozen. There's going to be movement in the trees. Anyway, I'll take some shots and I'll share them with you now. I took a vertical shot of that tree there because the way that the light was shining on the mountains looked quite nice. The only thing is now, the sun is battering and I'm getting mega highlights on this water. But it's not that, it keeps coming and going all the time. So I've done a few shots of the tree and I've managed to get a kind of few shots of this wide vista again. I'll share these images with you and then we're going to move on. Right, so I'm just standing on this ledge. There's I'm not complaining, the weather's stunning, but the sun is absolutely killing my highlights here. So I'm really struggling here. I keep upping my f-stop just to get rid of the highlights that I've got, and I am so dependent on my histogram here, just try to keep me right. But what I'll do is, I'll show you the view I've got. So we've got a wee bit of tree up here, but we can remove that. We've got the falls coming down, we've got the mountain in the background, we've got beautiful sky. It's quite bright. I'll see if I can tone that down a wee bit. And then, there we go. So we've got the cascade of water coming down, swinging right out here. We've got all this loose water here. That's the plan. Here's the images. Alright, so I've just come over to the edge of the ledge. I'm not going to too much further. However, I've got this incredible view front on the falls. And I've got the waterfalls coming down, I've got a tree on the left. I've got this rock feature here on the bottom, and that's allowing the water just to flow down through my screen. So my plan here is just to give the sun a wee minute to darken down a wee bit, and then I'm going to take a couple of wide shots. I'm going to change the shutter speed. I'll have a sixth of a second, then 3.2 seconds, and I'll share these images with you. And then I'll zoom in because there's some really nice rock features in front of me here. There's a rock that's kind of cut out, and when I'm finished I'll share these images with you. Alright, so we're just going to walk up to the top here and let's see if we can get a top down view. If we're lucky, the sun will be kind and not give us too much highlights. Right, I'm just looking for a good spot. This could be a spot here. Right, let's pick this and let's get a couple of shots here. Well, what a way to finish the video. Our friends in the kayaks came down, so I managed to get some shots of them, hopefully some fast shutter speeds. I didn't have the right lens on, but hopefully they've worked, so I'll share them with you now. Alright, I think I'm going to finish the video here. So here's hoping we can make a video out of this. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that will let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and here's to the next video.